Good evening and welcome to the September 17th, 2024 meeting of the Joliet City Council. Mayor Terry Darcy presiding. We will be led in the invocation by Pastor Larry Tyler from the Second Baptist Church at 156 South Joliet Street, after which he will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Gracious God, our Father, we thank you for the privilege to invite you into these proceedings. We thank you, Lord, for the City Council, for their commitment, their dedication, and passion for this city. We thank you for the stakeholders and all the constituents that form this team, the City of Joliet. We ask now that you will be present in these proceedings, that you would grant wisdom, patience, understanding to work through all the agenda items, that the end result may be that we're stronger and better. We ask this now in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And all the people said, Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy.
Here.
Councilman Cardenas. Absent. Councilman Clement.
Here.
Councilman Guerrero.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilwoman Navarra.
Here.
Councilman Mudron.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
Under Mayor, first is a proclamation recognizing Joliet as a nonviolent city.
So we'd like to have everyone come up, or do you just want to come up? Okay, they can just go around me. Just around me, make like a U. Make a U. So they could see you. Make a U, you know, like this. The U is like this, facing them, or me. I didn't know my friend Rose Corley was going to be here. Make sure she gets in here. Okay, everybody? Whereas many concerned citizens of Joliet are committed to foster a culture of peace and nonviolence through education, sustainable economic and social development, a clean environment, and justice for all. And whereas such citizens of Joliet desire to promote human rights, advance understanding, tolerance, and solidarity, and therefore support participation, communication, and the free flow of information. And whereas such citizens and many community leaders, civic and faith organizations, and political leaders of Joliet are committed to creating and implementing initiatives that create positive and lasting changes in our community. And whereas the City of Joliet encourages individuals, programs, and organizations committed to ending violence, poverty, injustice, and environmental degradation to communicate and collaborate. Now, therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby urge all citizens to join me in proclaiming that Joliet is a nonviolent city and support of the United Nations resolution declaring September 17th as the International Day of Peace, dated September 17th, 2024, signed by Mayor Terry Darcy. Congratulations. Who wants to give it to us? Do you want to say anything?
I just want to say, wow. I want to thank Mayor Darcy. Thank you very much. The city council members and the city manager. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My hope is that someday we might look back on this day and realize the significance of it, that it was a significant time when we really wanted to make some change for nonviolence, okay? I don't want to lose track of nonviolence. And with that effort, we do have another day planned, September 21st is International Peace Day, as proclaimed by the United Nations. We rented space at the Joliet Central High School. We got speakers coming in. The keynote speaker will be Ernest Krim, the former history teacher. And then we'll end with a peace walk around the school. Love to see all you there. It'll be Saturday, September 21st, from 1 to 4 at the high school. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you want to come up and take a picture? Right here.
I'm nothing without my steering committee.
No, you're good.
Yeah, one more for me. This is mine.
Congratulations.
All right.
Okay. Next, we have our proclamations recognizing Neighborhood Hero Award winners for 2024.
Well, we have quite a stack here. That's good to see. We've been doing this for many years now, and it's amazing that ever since we started giving awards out, people just started really fixing up their yards and hoping that someone in the neighborhood would nominate them. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to read one proclamation which will apply to all of you, but then name each one individually, and if you'd come up as I call you and stay here so we can get pictures, okay? All right. So this will start with proclamation, whereas City of Joliet now sponsors the Neighborhood Hero Award Program to recognize those who take pride in their property. Project Acclaim had founded this program to honor those who exhibit civic pride since 1985. Neighborhood Hero Award honorees have outstanding yards and include maintained lawns with flowers, shrubs, and decorative trees. Neighborhood Hero Award honorees have labored intensely to create visual beauty at their property. Whereas by showing great pride in their property, these residents demonstrate great pride in their neighborhood and in our city. Now, therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby recognize the efforts and outcomes of the 2024 Neighborhood Heroes and hope others will follow their example. So the first one to come up is Francisco Ordaz, 226 Rowell Avenue. Do we have any pictures this year?
They're coming.
Okay.
Coming up.
Is Mr. Ordaz here? Okay, good one. She said he's working in his yard, for those of you at home that didn't hear that. That was a good answer. Okay, the next one would be 2507 Inwood Drive. Okay. So I will say the name of the people. They are Robert Lavati and Dee Thorson. Are they present? Working on the yard too, I guess. We'll be sure that they get those. All right, Robert and Karen Briones, 420 Elwood Street. Oh, come on, guys.
It's lonely up there.
I know the yard's gorgeous, but you'll take the money, right? Okay, Ruben Aguilera, 409 Summit Street. Going once? Tom and Karen Tyrell, 1154 Glenwood Avenue.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay. Well, Alfonso and Maricela Trevino, 1217 California Avenue. Whoa! And we have a winner, and he just said he's too tired to work in the yard tonight.
That's why I'm here.
And it's the scanner over here. All right, Salvador Ramirez, 617 North Broadway Street. Yay! Congratulations. Okay. All right, Jean Eddy and Ryan Murray of 1205 Schreiber Avenue. How are you? Hard work. Richard and Mary Schuber. Yes. Did I say that correctly? Yay, I got it right. 1106 North 129th Infantry Drive. Right. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Come over there and then we'll take your picture. Group picture, group shot. Jose and Alice Romero, 418 Henderson Avenue. Take your time. A minute. Mark and Barbara Lewis, 624 Clement Street. Okay, Clement Street? Sometimes I don't get it right. Okay. And we have, last but not least, Bertie Wright, 1316 Ada Street. Yay!
I was holding my smile. We're waiting for Dan.
Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following change? Remove council memo number 448-24, ordinance approving a special use permit to allow a staffing agency located at 1504 Essington Road, Unit 3 from the agenda to be brought back at a later date.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak under citizens to be heard on agenda items? Okay. Nope. Okay. Seeing none. Next is Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a motion to appoint Councilman Cardenas to serve as Mayor Pro Tem for the term October 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council committee reports. We will start with the Finance Committee.
The Finance Committee met here in Chambers today at 5:30. On the committee is Councilwoman Reardon and Councilman Hug and myself. We had a rather short agenda. We reviewed the August financial statements. The General Government Operating Fund overall revenues are trending on budget. Some are trending better. Obviously, some aren't doing so well. The notable revenues trending better are video gaming tax, sales tax, income tax, state income tax, that is, permits, interest, and interest income. The revenues trending lower are utility taxes, the cannabis tax, and the replacement tax. The replacement tax is a bit of a question because it either falls under the replacement tax or it would be a sales tax. Year-to-date, expenses are trending to be slightly better than the budget. The Sewer and Water Fund, the billing revenue is trending to be only 3% greater than last year and 2% short of budget. Expenses are 13% more than last year, but are still 7% under budget. The parking fund continues to operate at a deficit. The museum gave their quarterly report. They had 11,278 visitors for the quarter. That it does not include special events. Prison tours were 7,800 people. The museum had just over 3,000. The Bruce Brothers Con hosted approximately 4,800 guests, and that folks were from 40 different states and 20 countries. The financial numbers for the Blues Fest are not in as yet and will be reported when the museum finalizes it. Jerry or Larry?
Nope, that's good.
That's my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have the Public Service Committee.
Public Service Committee met here at City Hall in the council chambers yesterday at 4:30 in the afternoon. On the committee and in attendance was myself, Councilwoman Reardon, Councilman Mudrin. Also was the Director of Public Works, the Director of Public Utilities, Allison Swisher on the utility side, and Greg Ruddy on the Public Works side. And we had a short agenda. There will be, I'm going to keep it brief because Allison's going to come up and give an update on the alternative water as of June 31st of this year, the progress in the alternative water source. There was nothing but good news. We're on schedule and, on budget. Maybe some slight delays by, say, a month, but I'll let Allison address this in her presentation. Under contracts, we had 3 items that ranged from 239,000 up to 6 million. For 357,000, that was looking at the purchase of a combination sewer cleaner vac truck. You've seen them around town. I'm sure most of us have over the years. They clean out the sewers with a big vacuum. For 239,000, almost 240,000, it was a pipe television truck. That's what houses the actual television system that we use to go inside the sewer pipes to inspect them. And it's a specialized truck that needs to be designed specifically and modified for that purpose. And then the $6.1 million is for the wastewater treatment plant expansion project. We discussed it yesterday. Essentially, it's total paid out between now and 2030 on the West Side treatment plant to expand capacity so that we can have capacity for future growth, which also includes portions of Shanahan and Sherwood, who pay to use our wastewater services. It's a $112 million project, of which $6.1 million is the engineering. We'll get through the engineering phase, then you'll go to bidding construction next year, 2025, and we'll start the project, which should be completed by 2030 to expand our water and sewer. Under change order pay estimates and final payments, we had 4 items ranging from $18,000 up to $180,000 for an extension. The $180,000 one was an extension on a engineering contract for the centralized traffic management system project that we approved in 2022. We're in phase A, and we're done with phase A, which was about $320,000, I believe it was. Now we're adding $180,000 to do phase 2. It's just an extension of the original contract. The other 3 items were minor. They were looked at and vetted by the 3 members of the council. And under ordinance and resolutions, it was primarily utility easements, the acceptance of utility easements, which are housekeeping for any project so that we could have access. One of them was for a fiber conduit that could be installed along Washington Street for fiber optics and so forth. We looked at all the items under ordinance and resolutions. All the items on the agenda were vetted by myself and the other 2 members of the committee, and all of them got a unanimous approval to move forward with our recommendation that the council approve them. With that, we had an alternative water source program update through 6/30/2024. And Allison, if you could at this time, would you like to make that presentation? Thank you. And while Allison's making her way up here, we did come to a conclusion as a committee that moving forward, the only thing the city council has control over on the alternative water source moving forward is the actual, we control the contracts of the consultants, like Strand and so forth. Other than that, any other changes or additions to the project itself will be voted on by the commission. So these types of reports are going to be brought to the council quarterly, and they're going to bypass the committee because we no longer have to vote on them. Thank you,
Okay.
Allison.
So to expand on what Councilman Hugg said, that what we've been doing on a quarterly basis is our independent review firm, which again, the city holds the contract for that on behalf of the commission, Burns & McDonnell. They do a quarterly evaluation of the program, looking at program budget, looking at program schedule, again, to just add additional transparency to the project. So what we'll plan to do moving forward is on a quarterly basis, we'll provide a overall update on the status of the program, along with the report from the independent review firm. And we are planning on doing a more in-depth update on the program in early November. So I'll be brief tonight in anticipation that we'll have a more detailed discussion in November. Okay, so again, they look at budget and schedule, and what we've seen is that we have seen the budget, which was accepted in May of 2024 by the commission, the $1.446 billion. Currently, the estimate at completion is 0.21% over budget, and that's tied to the schedule. So we have seen the schedule, what they're projecting, slip by about 45 days to June 15th. And so, again, this isn't bad news. We utilize this information to then make adjustments. So right now, the program team is looking at schedule recovery plans so that we can move that schedule back into the May 1st, 2030 completion. So again, that is the opportunity that exists to address those recovery plans to then bring that back within the budget and schedule. So another component of the work that the independent review firm does is that they review the engineering design submittals, and these are submitted at a 30, 60, and 90% level. And so really the good news is that all of the projects, we have 28 different projects that are part of this, have already been past the 30% project. So we are well on track to have the project be completed. And One of the projects, our first project, is actually out to bid currently, and the bid opening is scheduled for October. So after that bid opening, we anticipate then the groundbreaking in the first quarter of 2025. So it's a major milestone for the program, and that bid will really influence and inform our budgeting process. They do the same process for the projects in Joliet. So as Councilman Hugg said, the work that the commission will be approving, the construction contracts for the commission work, but we'll still be bringing many projects to this council for approval that are for the Joliet work. And so we have 3 projects that'll be bidding next year. Those include the elevated storage tanks. We have 2 elevated storage tanks that'll be constructed. We have pump station upgrades, and we also have distribution system improvements. So all of those will be coming to the council next year for approval. So that was a very quick update. Like I said, we will expand on this when we, at the first council meeting in November.
Are there any questions, Mayor?
Nope.
With that, since there's no questions, I guess that would be the report. Thank you, Allison. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of minutes. It is recommended the minutes of the combined council meeting held on September 3rd, 2024 stand approved as recorded. Invoices to be paid. It is recommended this report be approved. Council memo number 435-24. Award of contract for the combination sewer cleaner vac truck purchase 2024. Utilities Department to Standard Equipment Company in the amount of $357,730. Council memo number 436-24. Award of contract for the sewer pipe television truck purchase and modification. Utilities Department to EJ Equipment Incorporated in the amount of $239,922. Council memo number 437-24. Amendment number 1 to the Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3 professional engineering services for the Joliet Centralized Traffic Management System Improvement Project, Phase A. Council memo number 438-24. Amendment number 3 for the professional services agreement for the 2024 Water Main Rehabilitation Program to Baxter and Woodman Incorporated in the amount of $51,000. Council memo number 439-24. Change order number 1 for the Fairmont Water Tower Demolition Project to Green Demolition Services in the amount of $18,200. Council memo number 440-24. Change order number 1 for the purchase of water metering equipment from Core and Main LP in the amount of $19,550. It is recommended council memos 435-24 through 440-24 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quomen?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under agenda item, council memo number 442-24, professional services agreement for the West Side Wastewater Treatment Plant Expansion Project to Strand Associates Incorporated in the amount of $6,175,114. It is recommended council memo number 442-24 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
It's been
Mayor.
motioned and seconded to approve.
Mayor, if we may first, I always like to ask these questions of the larger contracts on our agenda. And I think Councilman Hugg touched on the subject in his report, as well as Allison giving a bit of detail. But so we had the presentation yesterday, but we've got a full house in the audience here today. So if you could just explain briefly why these upgrades are necessary. And then I know the mayor had a very good question yesterday about the, actually, was that mayor or was that you, Councilman Hugg, that asked if this was, if this had been priced in already, and had been budgeted for?
Yeah, it may have been the mayor. I don't remember.
I don't
I'll
either.
give you credit. How about that? We'll share it.
Okay, it was I. How about it? Let's move on.
The mayor asked that.
Okay.
Mayor.
Yes, so just very quickly, I mean, the city utilizes 3 wastewater treatment plants to treat the wastewater for not only the city, but also portions of Shanahan as well as Shorewood. And so this specific wastewater treatment plant, the West Side Treatment Plant, is currently at reaching its capacity. So in order to allow for future development within this service area and also to meet the requirements of our agreements with Shorewood and Shanahan, we need to expand the capacity. In addition, the facilities were originally constructed in 1972 and last updated in 2002. So many of the facilities are over 20 years old, and that's kind of the lifespan of a lot of the equipment. So there are many processes that need to be updated in order to meet code requirements, as well as additional regulatory requirements that require new processes be added. So it's very critical that the wastewater plant upgrades be completed, just in order to be able to provide reliable wastewater treatment services. And the other comment that was made by the mayor yesterday was that this project, which is estimated at $115 million, was included in the water and sewer rate study that was done last year. So we have incorporated the funding necessary for that project within the rate increases that were approved by the council last year.
So this won't be requiring any additional rate increases. So while this looks like a big ticket item, our audience, our residents at home can rest assured that this won't come with any additional increases to their monthly water bill. So that'd be all my questions.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Licenses and permit applications. Council memo number 444-24. Transfer of a Class B liquor license at 1527 North Rainer Avenue, Ecus Club. Is there a motion to approve a transfer of a Class B liquor license to Ecus Club located at 1527 North Rainer Avenue?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve.
Any comments? Thank you.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council memo number 445-24. Transfer of a Class C liquor license at 1537 North Larkin Avenue, Jewel Osco, number 0224. Is there a motion to approve a transfer of a Class C liquor license to Jewel Osco, number 0224, located at 1537 North Larkin Avenue?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Thank you.
Thank you. And just for the record, Kevin Jerome, on behalf of the license applicant here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances. Council memo number 447-24. Ordinance approving a special use permit to allow a massage therapy business located at 218 South Larkin Avenue. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve.
Any questions, any comments? Thank you.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Since she has been established for 5 years in that particular area, I will vote aye, because normally I don't vote on these single massage therapist operations. But in this case, she's proved her worthiness, and her constituents, or not constituents, but her patients like her, so I will vote aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 448-24, ordinance approving a special use permit to allow a staffing agency located at 1504 Essington Road, Unit 3, was previously removed from the agenda. Council Memo Number 449-24, ordinance approving a street name change for Riverboat Center Boulevard to Rock Creek Boulevard, adjacent to 1411 and 1421 Riverboat Center Drive. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
Motion approved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 450-24, ordinances associated with the re-subdivision of lots 2, 3, and 4 in Unit 2 of the Boulevard Planned Unit Development Subdivision. This includes an ordinance approving the preliminary plat and an ordinance approving the recording plat of re-subdivision of lots 2, 3, and 4 in Unit 2 of the Boulevard Planned Unit Development Subdivision. It is recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under Resolutions, Council Memo Number 552-24, resolution accepting the grant of a public utility easement from Will County for fiber conduit installation north of Washington Street from Chicago Street to Scott Street. It is recommended said resolution be adopted. Council Memo Number 452-24.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 453-24, resolution approving dedication of a .184 acre portion of Spencer Road as public right-of-way. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 454-24, resolution accepting dedication of a public utility easement along Spencer Road east of Cherry Hill Road. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilwoman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 455-24, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the County of Will for an easement for fiber optic conduit installation. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 456-24, resolution approving a letter of understanding with the Illinois Department of Transportation for the maintenance of various items associated with the Cass Street US Route 30 Bridge over the Des Plaines River. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
I have a question, Mayor. We've been talking about this for quite some time, and Greg, do you know the answer to this? I know that it says miscellaneous items of work in accordance with the plans. Is that going to include the painting of the bridges? because I know Senator Ventura was here earlier, and she said she had talked to them about getting in the paint.
Yeah, I believe in this particular case, it does include painting. It's a full rehab with paint.
Can we get that in writing from them?
I'll check I believe it's in the agreement, but I'll check.
Under miscellaneous, I want to actually see it.
Yes,
Okay,
we'll
thank
take a
you.
look.
Mayor,
Yeah, Joe.
yeah, while we're on the topic, has anybody ever reached out to IDOT in reference to the bridges? It takes a long time for them, they all seem to go up at the same time, and then it takes forever for them to go down. And I know we have traffic, downtown construction, water mains being installed, and has anybody ever reached out to IDOT to see if we can expedite the operation of the bridges?
I have not. I know previously there was some concern that they were all being operated from one central location already. They're still working on that project, have been for a number of years. So they do have individual bridge tenders at each location, but we can reach out to them on trying to reduce the time that the bridge is up, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get an answer.
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one that experiences it, so, thank you.
As long as we're on the bridges, it came to my attention and someone asked that in the past, the bridges wouldn't operate. They would stop the barges from 7:15 in the morning till, say, 9:15, and then again on the going home traffic, 3:45 to 5:30, whatever the date times were. Can we look into that? I think that'd be a heck of a good idea.
Yeah, I know that they, at least in the morning rush hour, they had limits on when the barges could go through. You would see the barges sitting at either end of the location there waiting to come through, but we can see if that's still in effect. And I don't know the exact time, but it was what we'll call morning rush for downtown Joliet. The afternoon, I'm not quite as sure. I know in the morning definitely, but we'll check into that.
We definitely need the afternoons also.
Yeah, we'll take a
The
look.
morning too, I don't
Yeah.
think it's working because I've gotten calls at least twice in the past month from somebody sitting at the bridge at like 8:15.
Yeah,
So-
and I know they used to block out those hours, but we'll double check that.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Anything else? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 457-24, Resolution appropriating Rebuild Illinois Bond Funds for Amendment Number 1 to the Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3 Professional Engineering Services for the Joliet Centralized Traffic Management System Improvement Project, Phase A. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 458-24, Resolution declaring certain City of Joliet property as surplus. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager report.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by sharing some exciting news about a significant upgrade that took place over the weekend concerning how the city processes payments. We successfully upgraded our cashier stations, enhancing security measures and introducing new tools to assist our customer service staff in better serving our residents. The upgrade includes the installation of new hardware with chip readers and tap-to-pay functionality, which will streamline credit card transactions and improve overall efficiency. I want to extend my sincere thanks to our entire IT staff for their hard work on this project. Your dedication and expertise have made this transition smooth and effective. Turning to another important update, I'm pleased to report that downtown construction is progressing well. The underground water main and sanitary sewer replacements are currently on schedule. I'd also like to publicly acknowledge the outstanding efforts of our police department in Operation Street Sweeper. This initiative resulted in the arrest of 21 individuals who posed a significant threat to our city. The arrested individuals face a range of charges, and many are repeat offenders. I want to express my gratitude to Police Chief Bill Evans and everyone involved in this operation for the commitment to keeping our community safe. Additionally, I'd like to recognize the invaluable support from the Will County State's Attorney's Office led by Jim Glasgow. On a lighter note, I had the pleasure of attending the 110th anniversary luncheon of the Joliet Chamber. Congratulations to the Chamber, and thank you for being such valuable partners to our city. I also had the honor of attending the groundbreaking ceremonies for both Hufford and Gompers Junior High Schools. These new facilities will serve as premier learning environments for our students, and I'm excited about the opportunities they will provide. Lastly, I attended the Fiesta in Bicentennial Park last Saturday, hosted by the Latin Economic Development Association. It was truly an enjoyable event that showcased the vibrant culture of our community. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to speak under citizens to be heard for public comments?
Hey, how y'all doing? Seems as though it look like none of y'all have aged a bit, especially Mr. Guerrero. So, we like to encourage the citizens to come out when the police are doing their job, right? I think we take pride in the police doing their job. We watch them from a distance. We ensure that they're gonna keep the city safe, right? So about a week ago, you had a citizen who pulled over, watched two young girls, maybe 17, 18 years old. They're on the side of the road, black road. Police has them pulled over, right? So he gets out, asks the police what's going on. Why did they pull him over? Cop says, it's none of your business. And he's well within his right to say none of your business, but you can't stop a citizen from watching you do your job at a reasonable distance as long as he's not threatening or interfering, right? Citizen asks him to call a supervisor. He doesn't have to call a supervisor, he says. Then he proceeds to arrest the citizen saying you're disobeying a lawful order. Now, in the process of arresting the citizen, you go into, oh, you're not being arrested, you're being detained. If you tell me I'm being arrested and you put me in handcuffs and you put me in the back of a police car, what am I? Arrested, right? I'm not free to go on my way. So, this is very complicated because when you watch the police do their job, we like to think that all police officers do their job and they do it respectfully. But you can't have a police officer just simply feeling because he's being watched or somebody asked him a question that he can arrest a citizen just simply because they asked you, why did you pull somebody over? That could have been my daughter, that could have been any one of your daughters. So as a concerned citizen, as a taxpayer, you will ask questions. How do I know this? Because I was that citizen. Don't believe a word I'm saying. Go back and watch the video. And according to what he said, you're under arrest, not being detained. And what's interesting is the tickets that I received had nothing to do with what I asked them. I got tickets for traffic offenses when I'm not even in a vehicle. I'm on a public way. So how then am I even being detained or arrested for a traffic offense? That's not even a criminal offense. He stepped on a landmine. Do I really have to come down here and do this again? Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. My name is Madi. I'm here again, as I was on the 3rd, to speak up against the violence that's been plaguing my family. And it's ironic that on the 3rd, I spoke here publicly about all of the injustice and trauma that my family has endured over the last 7.5 years because of the gang violence brought to my front door by the botched investigation done by JPD detectives and James Long, the complaint chief officer at the state's attorney's office. When that happened in 2017, my house started being shot at by gangbangers from the east side of Joliet, and this continued on for 7.5 years. Thankfully, to the Lord, none of my children were ever injured. My mother, elderly, who lives in my building, but voicing my concerns and pleading for help, we were ignored. I came here on the 3rd, and on the 3rd, a warrant was issued. It was actually filed on the 4th of September. Ironically, it was filed on the 4th by Detective Rakowski, just another way of retaliating against me to silence me. So my son, Benjamin O'Neill, was 18 years old in April 5th, 14th. He was shot on the east side of Joliet. He was shot 3 times. During that shooting, when he was walking with a friend and a gray car drove around the corner with tinted windows and shot in their direction, my child was hit in his neck, his knee, and in his chest. He survived by the grace of God. He was taken to Silver Cross and transported to Loyola. The police took his cell phone. I was told they were going to look into his cell phone so that they can see if he was arguing or having any issues with somebody in that area that they were agreeing to meet prior to him being a victim of gun violence. I never got his phone back. My son was released on medication. Detective Rakowski came out with Detective German to my home and spoke with my son. At that point, they never mentioned anything about December 1st of 2023, like they stated in the paper to the public. My son never evaded to question or answer anything pertaining to a shooting in December. But ironically, because I came here and spoke on the 3rd, the very next day, Rakowski went and filed at the courthouse a warrant for my son, stating that he was in possession of a gun, shooting at a house. And so I got a call from his girlfriend's family stating they went to her home looking for my son. And I said, well, why wouldn't they call me? They have my phone number. I was just at the meeting. I saw the chief there. But they never called me. Instead, they announced their Operation Street Sweeper the very next morning and went out to shut down the violence that's really plaguing our community. Well, the reality is they went after people that had robbery and theft issues. We don't need that. I mean, yes, we're concerned about that, but we're more concerned about the drug trafficking issues in our community and the violence of the shootings. Get these guns off the street. In fact, the very next day, they caught 2 teenagers over by Williamson Street, 2 teenagers, 17-year-old, with defaced guns, with guns that were Glock guns, illegal, and they arrested these boys, but they weren't part of the Operation Street Sweeper, okay? And what they didn't say is that one of them boys was the actual alleged shooter of my son back in April, who's still on the streets. So I have a huge problem with the fact that they try to, put in the media, Dwayne English gives false statements, and I will continue to get court transcripts, and I will continue to get these reports because it's gonna prove the truth. And I'm not going to be silenced by retaliation. My son was never in possession of a gun, by the way. So yes, they're accusing him of shooting something in December, which, by the way, they never questioned my son about. But now they're suddenly arresting him as a suspect for that. And they have no gun because my son was never in possession of a gun or that shooting. So we will continue to fight for justice. I will continue to bring light. And I do ask my community to please pay attention to the state's attorney and the chief, how they go and make this big announcement and had the media there the very next morning. If they can do that so quickly, then there's no doubt in my mind that they could really clean up the guns and the drug dealers off our community. And I will continue to speak. Thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak under public comment?
Hello, Mayor, Council. I didn't think I'd be coming up here anymore because of the issues I've been having. It is becoming resolved in the next month or so, but I just wanted you to be aware of the situation that happened 10 days ago on Friday night. I had a buddy of mine
could he just state his name for the records, please?
I'm sorry?
State your name for the records,
I'm
please.
sorry, Bob Cobb.
Thanks.
10 days ago on Friday, I had a buddy of mine come in from Arizona and stayed with me for a couple weeks. That Friday, 10 days ago, we were sitting on my deck, and about 8:30 at night, I heard a dog barking. You all know whose dog it was. Barking, and she opened the door and started yelling at the dog, "Drop it, drop it, drop it." This was Friday night. Saturday, during the day, I went out there and cut my grass. Saturday afternoon, I heard her cutting her grass. And then Sunday morning, my wife let our dogs out, and one of them, a little toy dog that I was watching for my niece, ran out to the back of the fence. And my wife shooed it away, said, "Go, go, go." Well, I walked back there, and there was a dead possum laying in my yard right by the fence with a puncture wound in it. And I gathered that Friday, the dog barking, that's what it was. So how did it get over the fence Sunday morning? You all know, unfortunately, my camera didn't pick up that incident. But I just want you all to know that for the last 4 years, this is what I've been dealing with. Hopefully I will never have to come up here again, because it's going to be gone. It's going to be over with in a month. Yippee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak under public comment? Okay, seeing none. Next, we have mayor and council comments.
Joe, we're starting your end today.
Okay. Can we have Chief Evans give a update on, if everybody was reading in the paper and media, we had some threats that were made in the high school. If you can give a update, Chief, of the latest developments. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. As many of you are aware, earlier this week, several very disturbing messages were posted on various social media platforms targeting our local schools here in Joliet. As a result of these threatening posts, the Joliet Police Department initiated an investigation to determine the validity of the threats and work to identify an offender. Yesterday, the Joliet Police Department arrested 2 juvenile offenders, both females, ages 12 and 14. Both were charged with felony disorderly conduct and returned to their respective parents. Although these threats and these threatening posts were disturbing in nature, the threats were not actionable, and no information exists that the person or persons that posted these messages had the means or the ability to carry out these threats. Earlier this morning, additional posts were located on at least 2 social media platforms, causing once again panic and concern among school officials, parents, and our community. The Joliet Police Department is aggressively investigating the most recent posts, in addition to working with our local school officials in determining the source of these recent posts. Safety protocols have been put in place at a variety of the educational institutions here in Joliet, and we will continue to develop information to determine the source of these additional threats. Additionally, extra squad cars will be assigned to patrol the properties strictly as an overt precaution. Obviously, the Joliet Police Department takes these threats very seriously, and I would like to take this opportunity to strongly recommend that the parents have a serious discussion with their children to reinforce just how dangerous this type of hoax can be and how disruptive it can be and the consequences that will ultimately follow. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Anything?
Any questions?
We'd also like to report to the council that we did take another 12-year-old into custody today for the earlier threats this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. I already spoke about the bridges. I had a great opportunity, and Mr. Mayor, you were there. I'm part of Will Grundy Sportsmen's for Charity. We had a annual event. It started in 1996. It's held down in Coal City at Cardinal Transport. We get a bunch of residents and businessmen, and we come down there and have a hunting and outdoor show. And I'm proud to say that we raised approximately $150,000. All this money goes to United Cerebral Palsy, Operation St. Nick, and various other organizations that have to do with adults and children with disabilities. So, Mr. Mayor, you were there. It was an outstanding event, and I was proud to be a part of it. So, and then I want to say thank you to Beth and Joe Norman for taking care of Cora Bell with the street sweeper. So, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
So, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that we have now entered into Hispanic Heritage Month, which began on September 15th. You may be wondering, why does it begin on the 15th and not match up with the beginning of our calendar months? That's because Hispanic Heritage Month is timed in such a way that it sort of clusters together many Independence Days for various countries throughout Latin America. It's not a complete list, but just a few here. September 15th is the Independence Day for Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. September 16th, the Independence Day for Mexico. September 18th, the Independence Day for Chile, and September 21st, Independence Day for Belize. So there's many more throughout the next few weeks, but you know, to see that many Independence Days all clustered within about the span of a week. So that's why that's timed this way. And here in Joliet, we began the festivities with our Fiesta at the Bicentennial Park, as our city manager mentioned earlier. I had the fortune of being there tabling at the event, and was able to volunteer and help them through the end of the night. Unfortunately, Councilman Cardenas isn't here. I'm sure he'd have much more details on the numbers and success of the event. But it's always happy to see, it's a great annual tradition that we have here in the city, and happy to see it come back. Despite the challenges of construction downtown, we were able to shift over to the Bicentennial Park, which is a lovely venue, and hopefully we'll be able to bring it back to Chicago Street with the completion of our plaza next year. And so while this was a fantastic annual tradition, there was one tradition that was notably missing this year, and I got a lot of calls, a lot of feedback regarding the Mexican Independence Day Parade, which has been happening in Joliet almost consistently for the last 60 years or so. So I just want to make some clarifications. I know we've brought it up here at the council meetings previously, but the one point that I want to get across is that the city of Joliet is not the entity that is the event organizer for the parade. The city of Joliet approves the routes. We get a request, we get an application for a special event. We approve the beginning of the route, the end of the route, how much security will be needed for the entirety of the parade, but we do not actually do the event planning. And so because there's been such an outpour of feedback and questions being raised, I've spoken already with Councilwoman Ibarra, Councilman Clement, who are with me on the Diversity and Community Relations Committee. We'll be intending to call the meeting into order, hopefully sometime next week. This has been a very quick turnover, and meetings need to be announced 48 hours ahead of time. So wasn't able to get that happening before this tonight's council meeting, but we also want to make sure that we're including all of our community partners. I see some in the audience today, so we want to make sure that the community knows when this meeting is happening, so we'll be making an official announcement on that soon. And for everyone who had questions about why the parade didn't happen this year, what can we do to make sure that it does happen next year, we invite you to be part of this process. We need that community input. We need those collaborations to be able to make this tradition come back bigger and better than it's ever been. And then one final note, September 26th is National Women's Business Day. So a quick shout out to all of our women business owners here in Joliet, and also our city staff here who make that business possible. So thank you to all of you.
Okay. Just one comment, or one topic. I'm a proud Husky. Graduated from Northern Illinois University in 1987. I think there's one other member of this council that knows exactly where I'm headed besides myself. I want to congratulate the Huskies on a 2-0 season so far. The Huskies are ranked number 23 in the country in the NCAA Division I, and slated, if all holds up, to be a 12th seed in the NCAA playoffs, football playoffs. They did this by defeating Western Illinois 54-15 in week 1, and then coming back the next week, traveling to South Bend and beating the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame, 16-14, and getting paid $1.4 million to make that win by the Notre Dame. So congratulations to the Huskies. Better luck next year, Councilman.
Long season, Larry.
In the past few weeks, I attended many events, but this event took me by surprise. It was a dedication for the Gold Star Police and Fire Department honoring our local fallen heroes. So this is us at the Warren Sharp Center, and they had some garden beds that they've really upscaled dramatically to feed the community. And I just wanted to say it was a beautiful event. I loved hearing the stories of the fallen officers and firefighters, and it was very meaningful. And I think the fact that their names will continue on through this food that's given out to the community from these beds, it was a very meaningful event. Chief Evans was there, our fire chief Carrie was there, also the Will County executive Jennifer Bertino-Tarrant was there. I want to say kudos to Fred Greenwood. He is in this picture, and he's arranged all of this and painstakingly goes through, picks all the weeds out of the garden, does the harvest. I think it was a beautiful event. Took me by complete surprise. I did not have tissues, and I definitely needed them. On Saturday, I enjoyed the fiesta, which was hosted by Latino Economic Development Association, celebrating Mexican Independence Day. Many of our downtown business owners were there in attendance, so this is a picture of it. It was a very fun and a very lively event. I also recently attended the St. Pat's Neighborhood Council along with representatives from our fire department, the Community Cares Program, who presented the very important information about that program, and I cannot say enough about the wonderful work they're doing to help so many in our community that really, really need their help. So that was an amazing event. Also, I did my part supporting the downtown businesses by also visiting the Chicago Street Farmers Market, and they have fresh vegetables, baked goods, local honey, and artisans there every Saturday from 9 to 2 if you need a good tomato sandwich or you want to buy a piece of art or some honey. It was small but mighty. It was a great event, and I encourage everybody to visit not only that, but all the downtown businesses. They are open. They do need you to come and visit them. They're here. We'd like to keep them here. So please visit the downtown businesses. And then finally, a few organizations are looking for donations. So I would like to say the first is Victory Senior Suites. The senior board there, they're looking for anyone willing to donate their 65-inch television to replace the one that was stolen for the third time. So if anyone in the community is willing to donate a 65-inch television, I'm sure they'd take a 55-inch as well. If you have one, it would be great. We also need to figure out some bolt system or some way to bolt that in so it doesn't continuously get stolen. They were looking very much forward to watching the council meetings on that TV, and they couldn't do it. So the other one is MAC Mentoring. Michael A. Clark Foundation is looking for snack sponsors for their youth program. If you're interested in being a snack sponsor, please contact the name and number on the screen. Stacy Dillard, 815-212-3830. I know that they would really appreciate it. It's nothing major. 30 bags of chips, 30 cupcakes, individually wrapped would be great. Again, that's Michael A. Clark Foundation, and I want to say I did not expect my friend Rose Corley to be here tonight. Raise your hand, Rose. I want everybody to see you. Those beautiful letters, remember the beautiful letters about Joshua Arms and how they were so excited to see the firefighters, which she considers celebrities, and she went into great detail about all the help that the fire department and our emergency management gave. It was just so beautiful. You don't see handwritten notes anymore, and you don't see anyone this caring in the community who kept me abreast of every single thing that was happening there until it was all resolved. So thank you so much for everything, Rose. It's wonderful to see you here, and thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you. That is my report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Nothing, Mayor.
I'll be brief. Just a couple questions here. How are we doing with the parking downtown? How are we getting the message out to people that want to go downtown and visit? Because it's a mess right now. So what are we doing?
So we are working on our social media sites. We've had the media release go out. We are going out regularly with businesses. They're sharing on their social media sites. We're working with a city center partnership, and we are looking at the electronic billboards and looking at additional signage.
Okay, looking at and doing it, how long before they get up on the electronic board, so people know?
I can follow up with.
I mean, it's been a long time. I've been asking about this for a month now. And
Yeah,
still
there,
people don't
it will,
know.
we just finalized messaging today, and so it'll be on the, Jenny's working on the graphics now, it should be up by next week. We're rolling out a whole marketing campaign.
Has anybody talked about going on WJOL with Slocum in the morning as well?
Yeah, that would be a great idea. Mm-hmm.
Because he gets a lot of messages, he knows a lot of people out there,
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
Because I'm getting, still getting calls. How do we get downtown? We want to support the businesses, but it's a mess down there, so, you know, we need to
Yeah,
help
we'll have
get the message out
a
there.
map that's, that goes out as well, that can show, you know, big parking, like Big P, where you can park downtown, where all the restaurants are, and, yeah, it's kind of like Pardon Our Dust, we're still
I
open
know, it's terrible,
downtown.
it's a mess, but somehow we got to get it out, like you said.
Yeah, and the valet project down there is going really well, too.
Good.
So they're
That's a
happy
good-
about that.
That's good to hear,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, yes, I was at the groundbreaking for Hufford and Gompers, and it was, those students were fabulous. They gave their speeches, and they're looking forward to their new building, and buildings, I should say. And also, this Saturday, there's a couple events going on. There's the Laps for Literacy, which is being put on by the National Hookup of Black Women, and also the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which will be walking downtown Joliet. Somehow we're doing it. And it's a good mile, so if you see us walking around, that's to end Alzheimer's. And if you see anybody with purple shirts or anything purple, they're walking for people that have already succumbed to that disease. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you.
I will be brief. It's, I want to say congratulations to the Joliet Chamber again on their 110th anniversary. It was such a fun luncheon. Their speakers were great. They could have gone on forever, and nobody was leaving. Everybody was enjoying every bit of it. And then I'd just like to mention, too, that I was at the Hufford groundbreaking myself. That's my junior high alma mater. I think it was built like when I was 1, so it's definitely in need of being rebuilt. So, but the kids did such a great job with their presentation, and it was really enjoyable to see, and we look forward to seeing the new buildings both for Gompers and for Hufford. And that's it.
Thank you. I just have a few things that I attended also. On September 5th, I attended the grand opening of a research and development division at PQ Chemicals, which is on Broadway Street. They've been a partner to the city for over 80 years, and this new investment will bring 60 new jobs and 34 which are union positions, so it's great to have companies continue to build in our community. I also attended the 110-year anniversary of the Chamber, which was another exciting event. I also attended and spoke at the groundbreaking for Hufford and Gompers, and the only thing I came away with was the kids said how old the schools were, and they were built the same year I was born, so I was real thrilled with that. And I also was at the PS in Lacaille on Saturday, and unfortunately I didn't get there in time to hear our council member Cesar Guerrero sing. I hear you have quite a voice, so I think we ought to have you, you know, do a little work here in council chambers some nights, sing for us, whatever. But anyway, I did hear you sing, and I hear you sang very well.
Oh, well, thank you.
But
Is he missing his calling here?
well, anyway, that's all I have, and thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.